Good morning. Welcome to another One Mind meditation. It is Saturday morning. Hope your week was really good and that your weekend is even better. Our teacher this week is Dyer. This morning, on a Saturday morning, for some reason, for a long time, I've settled into doing the Come to Your Senses meditation every Saturday. We're changing it up just a little bit this Saturday morning because we haven't done the science of meditation for such a long time. So this morning, Dyer's teachings take us into the science of meditation. Sunmari, very good morning. Estelle, good morning. Happy Saturday morning to you. Right, let's get into a couple of thoughts from Dyer on the science of our bodies. Dyer says, research has shown that a simple act of kindness directed toward another improves the function of the immune system and stimulates the production of serotonin in both the recipient of the kindness and the person extending the kindness. Kindness extended, received, or even observed beneficially impacts the physical health and feelings of everyone involved. Whether I'm the one extending the kindness, hey, Anthony, good morning, happy Saturday. Whether I'm the one extending the kindness, my body feels it, my serotonin levels rise. If I'm the one receiving the kindness, the same thing happens. My body responds in a healthy way to that. But even if I just observe this kindness happening, the same thing happens. All of the good hormones in my body get better. Doesn't it make it so clear that we should be deliberate about what captures our attention? Because when our attention is captured by all the bad in the world, our body feels that. Every cell in your body is buying into all the bad in the world. Hey Nella, very good morning to you. But when I deliberately try and make sure my attention is captured by all the good in the world, and then the inverse happens. Every cell in my body buys into all of the good in the world. And in that way, it's so clear to see that where we place our attention is where our energy goes. Our brains and bodies really are quite magical, and getting to form a basic understanding of the neurobiological and chemical processes in our bodies make it clear just how much influence we have over the experience that every cell in our body has. The emotional environment within our bodies is a felt experience inside every cell, which tilts the scales of our body's operating system towards either survival mode or creative mode. The emotional environment that we feel in our body is true for every cell of our body. It's not just a feeling that I have. My emotional environment is the truth that every cell in my body lives in. Our survival nervous system is not a bad thing. It's not bad at all. It's actually an important part of being a healthy human being. But becoming stuck in fight or flight is detrimental to our health. And this inner environment is completely regulated by our own thought process. Dyer says, you create your thoughts create your intentions, and your intentions then create your reality. Your everyday reality is created by what you think and feel on repeat. Dyer says there is no stress in the world, only people thinking stressful thoughts. Today's meditation journey is like an owner's manual for your body. Come along for the ride and upgrade your understanding of how to be a good operator of this vehicle. So we're doing the science of meditation today. I hope that you enjoy the journey as much as I do. Thanks, Anthony. That's an awesome comment. I love sharing these really interesting things. So if you're ready, you can close your eyes and let's ride that train together. Starting with the first few big breaths. Take a deep breath in and out. deep breath in and out. A deep inhale and let it go. Deep breath in and out. One more big breath in and let it all flow away. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose gets drawn all the way deep down into your belly. And as you fill up your belly with air, also raise yourself up. Rise with every inhale. Stretch out your spine. Lift the top of your head toward the ceiling. And once you've reached your full height, then again let all of it go. As you exhale, soften. As you breathe out, soften your spine, slump down your shoulders, and drop your head. And while you continue your full body breathing, I'll talk you through some of the things happening in your body right now. It is almost like your brain and your heart are listening to your lungs. And specifically to the exhale. As your exhale becomes longer and slower, your heart and your brain follows. As your breathing goes longer and slower, your heartbeat also slows down. Again, specifically on the exhale. When your heartbeat slows down, your brain responds by both what your lungs and your heart are doing and says, if breathing can be this slow, and if the heart is able to slow down, there can't be much danger here, can there? And your brain relaxes too. And your brain waves that might have been in an anxious state, a high beta fast thinking, like a pinball being bounced between bumpers, thoughts being bounced between all of the problems slows down. Your brain waves go from high beta to lower beta, and if you keep going into alpha, the more your body softens into perhaps even theta and delta. And normally we're only in those two states while we sleep. But we can be there awake, especially when we are very relaxed. And as you deliberately drop your shoulders on your exhale, you are helping this process along. It is almost like, this is an old wisdom, the phrase breathing a sigh of relief, because it's a realization of what our bodies do when we put things down. A sigh of relief is breathed when the fight is over, when the danger has passed, when we know it's going to be okay. And with every big full body breath, as you rise up on your inhale and allow your, not just your shoulders, but your whole body to fall on the exhale, is a signal to every cell in your body that the fight is over, and more importantly, that it's going to be okay. We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, helping our bodies stretch, adjust, and settle down in as much comfort as possible for the rest of our journey. Let's take a deep breath in. As you release, drop your head all the way forward and roll out your neck muscles. Go forward and to the left and forward and to the right. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders forward in big, slow circles. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders backwards in big, slow circles. Take a deep breath in. As you release, focus on your spine. Lean your upper body over to the left and lean your upper body over to the right. Deep breath in. And as you release, you can stretch or move or adjust any part of your body that still needs a bit of help settling down. And the reminder is how awesome spinal movement is for not just your body, but your brain and your whole nervous system, because a large part of your nervous system is held in your spine. So getting spinal movement in lubricates your nervous system. It moves spinal fluid up and down your spine. Your whole body, your brain, and of course your nervous system benefits hugely by spinal movement. Build that into your day. It's built into our meditation every day. But you can stop, take a few big breaths, and also give your spine some movement multiple times during every day. Having softened our bodies into a place that's really present, especially present with our bodies, we can turn our attention now inwards and dive deep inside for the next part of our journey. If you don't have the time to sit for the whole meditation, this is always a good place to stop. But if you are here for the whole journey, then with every next inhale, we'll hold our breath for a few short moments, followed by a long, slow exhale. Let's take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, make it a really long, really slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, feel into your body and feel how softness slowly settles in every muscle of your body. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, follow the downwards flow through your body. Feel your shoulders slowly falling. Feel your body slowly softening. And feel how you are slowly slipping deeper into you. One more big breath in. And hold. And as you release, feel yourself melting. Feel your whole body dissolving. Feel how you are slipping into a deeper level of surrender with every slow exhale. As you breathe in, really feel the air flow in through your nostrils. Feel the air touch the back of your throat. Stay with your breath as it flows in through your lungs, and as you fill up the balloon inside your belly, feel yourself slip all the way in. Hold your breath. But hold it only for as long as it feels easy, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. With your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, pay real attention to your belly. As you inhale, feel it grow, like a balloon in your belly is being inflated. Bigger, 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 and and then hold. Take your next big breath. We'll spend the time in this phase talking about breath holding, but moreover the science of breathing. And whenever you have the opportunity to listen to a free diver speaking, it's always worth listening. Because when you listen to the free diver's experience, you'll come to understand meditation from another angle. There is a different kind of inner focus happening when we hold our breath. It's like our brain focuses in a different way, focuses inwardly more easily. It doesn't mean we still can't get distracted, because this brain gets distracted easily. Still, there's a shift in the way we focus when we hold our breath. Just feel it again as you take your next big breath. I love to say in an illustrative way, fill up the balloon inside your belly, because it paints a picture that helps improve breathing. But of course, no air is flowing into your belly. The air flows into your lungs, and that's where it stops. It doesn't go any lower than that. The thing you feel in your belly, and why extending your belly and feeling like there is a balloon in your belly being filled, the thing that does that is a muscle called your diaphragm. And if you paint a picture, create a picture of your rib cage, the ribs as a cage that the lungs hang in, and the bottom of the rib cage, the piece that covers the bottom, would be your diaphragm, the muscle that drops lower towards your belly. That is the muscle that drops down, that helps fill up the lungs with air. And that's why you feel it in your belly. If you've ever been winded because something hit you in the stomach, and you feel that muscle cramp and you can't breathe, it is your diaphragm. It's that muscle that was impacted and now it's cramping and you can't breathe. As you take your next big breath, as you fill up the balloon inside your belly, picture this muscle that covers the bottom of the rib cage, the floor of the rib cage, and visualize how this muscle extends into your belly as your lungs fill up. Take your next big breath. There are other muscles too that help facilitate breathing, but in a much smaller way than your diaphragm. Again, get this picture of your rib cage. Can you see the cage made of ribs? In between these ribs are also muscles, and they're called intercostal muscles. They can also expand and contract a little bit, not nearly as much as your diaphragm. They can assist in breathing a little bit, but just not so much. See if you can feel that. As you take a deep breath in, as your diaphragm drops into your belly so you can fill up the balloon inside your belly, feel that the last little bit of your breath, first it's in your stomach, but the last filling of your lungs, you'll feel your chest expand too, and those are the intercostal muscles. Take your next big breath. So 2 sets of muscles are used for breathing. And here's an important distinction. Calm and peace. Your calm state uses your diaphragm for breathing. But panic uses your intercostal muscles, those rib muscles, for breathing. And have you ever seen a scared animal that's just been caught? Have you ever watched their rib cage and see how fast they're breathing, how fast the rib cage is expanding and contracting? Panic uses our rib cage for breath, the intercostal muscles. When you are anxious in a panicked state, switching your focus onto your belly and making sure that every slow inhale is a belly breath slowly moves you out of panic and into maybe not calm thoughts yet, but a calmer nervous system. The reverse of that's true as well. When we're busy and focused and we are kind of caught up in anxious thoughts, we might not be paying attention to our breath, and we start breathing more and more shallowly. We use less and less of our belly and more just the tiny movements of our rib muscles. And even just doing that in a physical way will create more and more anxiety, because panic uses the intercostal muscles for breathing, whereas calm uses the balloon in your belly, the diaphragm. Take your next big breath. So I'm going to paint a picture for you of how this works. Why panic uses your rib cage for breathing and calm uses your diaphragm. We started out earlier on with moving our spine and said a large part of your nervous system is housed in that spine. And typically that's what you'd see when you look at a picture of the human nervous system. Take a moment to remind yourself of that picture. It looks a little bit like a skeleton, but it doesn't show bones. It shows from a brain dropping down what looks like a spine, but that's the collection of nerves in the spinal column. And then from the spinal column, these nerves move outwards in a fine network of thin little threads throughout your body. Can you see that picture? It looks like the picture of a skeleton. However, every time you look at that picture again, you'll notice something different too. From the base of the brain, there's a thick nerve that doesn't run down the spine like all the others. It runs down the center of the body. And it's thicker than any other nerve in your body. And it doesn't drop down straight like your spinal column, like the nerves in the spine do. It goes from the brain stem and it kind of meanders, this thick nerve, through the center of your body. It touches this organ, it touches that organ, and it goes left and right. Do yourself a favor. After this meditation, search human nervous system and look for the picture of this thick nerve that goes from the brainstem through the center of the body, but not straight down. It crisscrosses, it touches every organ, left and right, slowly down through the body. This is called your vagus nerve. Not the gambling place, not Vegas, but Vegas with a U instead of an A. Like a vagrant, it meanders, it strolls. It's not in a hurry, touching every major organ. This vagus nerve also touches and flows through your diaphragm, that muscle that covers the bottom, the floor of the rib cage. This nerve runs through that muscle. And this is why calm uses your diaphragm, because every big breath you take with your belly, filling up the balloon inside your belly, it massages your vagus nerve. And the massaging of the vagus nerve is the biggest trigger for our calm nervous system. There's nothing that switches on our calm nervous system like a vagal activation. Thus also when we're calm, we more easily breathe through our belly. But you get this picture, you understand how this works. When you feel yourself being anxious, when you feel yourself being panicked, focus on your belly. Breathe into that balloon in your belly. Keep it slow and just keep going. It doesn't have to change quickly, but know that you are massaging the most important nerve in your body, and this will bring calm. We'll do just one more big breath together, slipping out of the breath holding space and into the next. Take a deep breath in. And as you release, feel yourself slipping all the way through. There'll be no more attention on your breathing. So you can sit all the way back or even lie all the way back down. And feel yourself just floating. We'll paint a different picture this time. I want you to see yourself sitting at a kitchen table blindfolded. There's a cutting board in front of you on the kitchen table, and you can't see the cutting board, but you know it's there because I placed it there. I'm also sitting at this table, and I've got a piece of fruit on this cutting board, and you know that I'm going to cut this piece of fruit, and you hear it happening. And we've already arranged this, so you know what's going to happen. I'm going to place this piece of fruit that I've just cut. I'm going to place it in your mouth, and you're happy to go along with this because you're curious like I am. You open your mouth. You don't know what this piece of fruit is going to be, but you'll taste it. Every taste bud in your mouth, on your tongue, will be flooded with the juice of this piece of fruit, and you're quite curious about what this would be. So you're ready, you open your mouth. I've just cut this piece of fruit, and as I place it in your mouth and as you bite down, you find it's a slice of lemon juice. Squirt over your tongue. You feel it in your mouth and the back of your throat. How does your body react to the thought of biting into a slice of lemon? Can you feel a reaction in your body? We'll get back to this lemon juice, this piece of lemon that you just metaphorically bit into. I want to read to you again those words from Wayne Dyer this morning, who said, "Research has shown that a simple act of kindness directed toward another improves the function of the immune system and stimulates the production of serotonin in both the recipient of the kindness and the person extending the kindness. Kindness extended, received or observed beneficially impacts the physical health and the feelings of everyone involved. The emotional environment within our bodies is a felt experience inside of every cell, which tilts the scales of our bodies towards either survival mode or creative mode. In just the way that the thought of biting into a slice of lemon has produced a chemical reaction physically in the cells of your mouth, so too everything we focus on, every thought we think, produces a chemical reaction in every cell of our body. What we see, what we pay attention to, and the things we feel creates a chemical environment that every cell in our body is subjected to. It is extremely important that we take ownership of where we place our attention. Just like Wayne Dyer said, the giver of the kindness has a chemical reaction, the receiver of the kindness has a chemical reaction, but not just them. Anyone observing this act of kindness happening has a similar chemical reaction in every cell of their body. Where you place your attention, or whatever it is that captures your attention, controls your emotional state, and the cells of your body are subjected to that. Can we take ownership of what captures our attention? And when something unhelpful, when all the bad in the world captures our attention, we got to ask ourselves a question: when anything negative captures our attention, am I able to act on this? Am I able to make this better? If I can, maybe it's something I should act on. But if I can't, if this is the war in Russia and Ukraine, and nothing I can physically do can impact that, then maybe it's better I find something more helpful to put my attention on. Something that I know every cell in my body will benefit from. And become really good at this moment to moment, not subjecting my body to bad chemistry, but taking ownership to subject my body only to the best chemistry, the best emotional inner state. Thank you for being along on the ride today. We have 5 more big breaths of gratitude left. With every exhale, I'll say my thank you, and I invite you to say yours. Let's take a deep breath in. Thank you for this amazing body. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for slowly but consistently learning more about how this body works. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for becoming a better owner of this body. Becoming better at knowing how to push buttons, what levers to pull, and which buttons not to push. Take a deep breath in. Thanks again for being granted ownership to such an amazing vehicle. One more big breath in. Thank you, beautiful people. Thank you for being along for the ride. Thank you for becoming good owners of your vehicle. You imagine a world of people who understand how this meat suit works. It'll be a different world. Thank you so much, Anthony, and Nella, and Estelle, and Sunmarie, and Ingo. Thanks for popping in this morning. Try to be deliberate about the experience you feel in your body. The more deliberate you come about that, and I mention this because of the truth that people are mostly quite disembodied. Mostly people don't have a good felt sense of what their body experiences. The more you do, the more you'll notice how things impact your body. The thoughts you think, you'll feel it and you'll start changing it. The food you eat, the more of an embodied sense you have, the more you'll understand what impact certain foods have. And it becomes easier to gravitate towards the foods that don't just feel good now. A massive piece of cake and a cup of coffee, and I enjoy those. And it feels good now. There's an emotional feeling that feels warm and fuzzy and welcoming, but also there's a lingering feeling, and that's in a deeper place. You don't get to understand the lingering feeling unless you become embodied. And for the rest of the day, my body's not so happy with this massive piece of cake and huge cappuccino I just had. And the more in touch I am with what my body feels, the easier it becomes to say, actually, I don't want that. The taste, the warm and fuzzy experience might feel good for a little while, but I have a much longer experience that's just not so great. This body doesn't like what that feels like. Come home to your body. There's wisdom there. The more you get to understand it, the easier it is to make all the good decision for this vehicle. Lots of love to you all. Have a beautiful day. See you soon. Ciao, ciao.